Some young drivers like a Matt Kenseth making their very first NASCAR Winston Cup start. Big names near the front of the field.
Well, it is. Kevin LePage really runs well on as a matter of his way towards the front. Matt Kenseth doing a great job in the 94 for Bill Elliott.
Yeah, let's point out this is his first time ever in a competitive Winston Cup race, and he won here yesterday in the Busch Series event, and what a terrific job he's done.
How different, buddy, driving his normal Lightpost.com Busch Series car versus this McDonald's Ford today in Winston Cup.
Well, the biggest thing he has now is about 100 more horsepower than he's used to dealing with, but as you can see, he's really taking care of everything. He's getting in the throttle very easy. The biggest thing is jumping back in the throttle and breaking the rear wheels loose, which he is not doing. He's doing a great job as far as holding that car where it needs to be on the racetrack.
There's Matt Kenseth in the 94. Again, filling in for Bill Elliott. If you're just joining us and didn't hear, Bill's dad passed away earlier in the week. Now Ricky Rudd's going the wrong direction.
Yeah, Ricky's on the outside.
Jeremy Mayfield started 28th. There he is. He's now in 13th spot.
And look with him there. You see Matt Kenseth right now going on the inside, taking that spot away from the 12 of Jeremy Mayfield.
Well, you wonder what Jack Roush sees in that guy. Just watch these laps, and you're going to see exactly what Jack Roush sees, and it's an awful lot of talent.
Ton of talent for Jeremy Mayfield. Another guy who has some great talent is the 99 here today. I mean, realistically, we are not even a quarter of the way in. He has lapped all the way up to the 12th spot.
Yeah, but he's been second here 4 times, too, in those top 10 finishes.
Good scramble here. Petty in the 44, Hart in the 1, Kenseth in the 94. They are all battling for position. The 12 of Jeremy Mayfield, he is not in the mix right there. He's back a lap down in 20th position. But the 44, 1, and 94 running awfully well. There you see NASCAR timing and scoring. Presented to you by MCI.
It looks like Nadu there in the cartoon car is moving back up. You see him right behind Kenseth there in the green car. He dropped back on that pit stop, but he's reeling them back in right now and having some great lap times. Need any extra thing on the front of the race car.
Good point. Behind, look at Kenseth. See Matt Kenseth right there? Third guy in the screen, the number 94. That's for the battle for position on the lead lap. He's running an 8th right now.
Boy, he's making a statement out of the Busch Grand National Circuit up right now. Really, I mean, these are great drivers that this guy's running against. Taking the outside line there, moving up the racetrack on Bobby Labonte, getting great forward bite, and Bill Elliott's car there, the 94. I'm just really impressed with Matt Kenseth. As you said, Jack Roush saw something in this driver. It gives him a lot of technical advice as far as his Busch Grand National deal with Robbie Reiser and all the guys. And I tell you, you better remember that name. One of these days we'll be talking about him chasing Jeff Gordon and these guys for the win.
And as we watch this run, let's remember that this is his first time in a Winston Cup car, and it's also his first time with his crew. They say it takes a long while for a driver and a crew to get used to each other. Well, Kenseth is really doing a job here today to be running as well as he is.
And I don't know if it's a comfort factor or not, buddy, you can tell me, but Bobby Labonte's ahead of him. Well, Bobby was in the Busch race yesterday. They're going by Jeff Burton. He's run against Jeff Burton in Busch Series races. Also in the top 10, Dale Jarrett, who was in the Busch race, albeit somewhat briefly yesterday because of an accident. But, I mean, he's run against these guys on this racetrack. Not all of them, certainly. Does he have any comfort level, anything like that helping him today?
Let me tell you what he's doing right now.
I don't think they knew.
Me too. It really was. I think we estimated we had about 20,000 people out there watching that show last night.
It certainly looked like it.
It was a lot of fun. Great crowd, too. 20,000, it sounded like about 50,000.
There you see Matt Kenseth coming back in again. Tracy, I know you're tied in with TNN Outdoors as a promotional spokesperson, and you know, it's a natural. You got NASCAR, you got the country sound, you got the outdoor life. It all kind of goes hand in hand.
It sure does. I mean, I told that crowd that last night. I said, y'all are NASCAR fans, and I asked them if they love to hunt and fish, and now everybody in the whole crowd screamed and raised their hands, and I said, well, that's my kind of people right there, and it is. I think you see that correlation, and you know, not in many sports except for NASCAR.
Especially at night when he goes out.
I said seat, not suit.
Oh, Lord. Here goes Kenseth. Look at that. He's still battling. Car maybe not up to snuff. Intermittent miss, they said. But here he's going to take 7th away from John Andretti if he can. He may not have to get up and go on the straightaways.
Well, if he has a miss, indeed, it's running very, very well. Yeah. It's running where it needs to run because you can see it goes right on by Andretti.
Good battle. He's right there to the inside still. Makes the pass.
Yeah, he's all over the back end of that thing. John Andretti is.
Well, swap it around. Kenseth in 7th, Andretti in 8th. The car back there, the number 12, that's Jeremy Mayfield.
Crew members to glue their lug nuts on more of the NASCAR effort to make sure that everybody's got the same level playing field with the rubber on the race cars.
That's the remarkable story watching on the racetrack right there. Kenseth just goes around Bobby Labonte, and now takes 5th. Can the car be ill-performing and be running that well?
It can for one reason. It's going through the corner very, very well. You see the back of the car very stable. He runs the middle part of the racetrack. Does not seem to be overdriving the race car. And if you're going through the corners real well, down the straightaway, it'll actually run as fast as the car that comes off the corner, maybe pushing a little bit off the corner and does not build speed up until the far end of the straightaway.
Not to belabor the point, but in case you've not been with us all day or haven't heard any of the news this weekend, the reason Matt Kenseth is in the car, Bill Elliott's dad, George, passed away Friday morning. As a matter of fact, the funeral is to begin in about 5 minutes from now down in Georgia. And as a result, obviously, Bill not here this weekend. Steve Burns, it's a remarkable story. He was running so very well.
Eli, I've never seen anything like it. None of the guys on the team seem to know what's wrong. They raised the hood twice on that last caution period. They said crew chief Joe Garone hit a wire that might have been loose. I don't know if that was enough to fix the problem, but it really is hauling the mail now.
It really is. No.
They'll do that sometimes, just check you out. But look at Matt Kenseth there in 4th place, right on the back bumper of Dale Jarrett, looking to the inside to head down to turn 1.
What a superb story. Meanwhile, Jeff Gordon, remember Rusty? Yeah, look at Kenseth. That's remarkable.
You don't suppose he's got a shot to win this thing,
Wouldn't that be a spectacular story?
What a story. Jody Ridley, 1981, first-time winner I can remember at this place. Maybe the only first-time winner.
Look at this. He's taking 2nd place.
Matt Kenseth. Now remember, guys, Rusty Wallace finished 2nd in his first NASCAR Winston Cup race. Remember back in 1980, he was driving for Roger Penske at the time in Atlanta, and Rusty finished 2nd in his first Winston Cup start.
Now, the one thing, if I had one thing to tell Matt Kenseth right now, don't use those tires completely up. I know it's wonderful to be right up at the front, but don't use the race car up because right now, Mark Martin's setting a pace out there. If he runs him down, he has to abuse the tires just a little more than I think he needs to at this point.
The whole McDonald's team just looking on, and Steve Burns, this is a remarkable story.
Boy, this is exciting down here, Eli. Now, Dick Bergen said moments ago, do you think Mike Kenseth has a shot to win this thing? I swear, just seconds before Dick said it, Matt said, when I get up near that front pack, boys, I got a shot to win this race. Unbelievable.
Really is. Winning here yesterday, trying to sweep the weekend. Only once has the same driver won the Saturday and Sunday races on the same weekend at Dover. Harry Gant did it in 1991. It has happened 14 times in history at various racetracks. There he'll lose a spot to Rusty Wallace.
Eli, one thing's happened. The sun is now peeking back out on the back straightaway. The racetrack may change as the sun pops back out. Kenseth lightning fast under the gray racetrack, but as you see right there, the sun is back out again. For how long, we don't know, but it's there.
Still significant cloud cover around. Back at 75, David Pearson won here by 7 laps over second place Cecil Gordon. That was not that unusual in that day and time to see multiple lap margins of victory.
David Pearson and the Wood brothers at the racetrack it was almost like watching a computer run the race course around here. David Pearson would get into a mode and he would run the same speed forever, it seemed like. Great driver on this track. I tried to catch him several times, never did.
A lot tougher now. The rules are so restrictive and so tight, and NASCAR polices these cars to try to keep them even, but look what's happening.
There's going to be a good scramble right here, but they're also closing in just a bit more on Mark Martin. So everybody's closing in just a tick.
Makes you wonder if he says, I have a great race car, why abuse it? I made to set a good pace out here.
Robbie Reiser used to race against him and decided that Kenseth was so good that when Reiser decided to step aside, get out of the seat, he said, I want him to drive the car.
And yesterday it was a brand new car that Robbie Reiser and the fellows brought for him. They hadn't even tested it anywhere. They really had no new car blues in the practice runs on Friday. I went out and took her to the house there yesterday and grabbed the checkered flag. Did not count. 1.9 seconds back. We've got Ward Burton and then Matt Kenseth. Burton in the garage earlier today. He's 50 laps down in 39th position, Ward is. What really impressed me, too, is that Kenseth has not forced the issue. If a pass wasn't there, he wouldn't try and put the car where it shouldn't go.
He's driving smart beyond his experience. He really is.
Don't you think the race car...
Nobody is staying out, obviously. Kenseth will be the first one to stop. Steve?
And Matt Kenseth comes to a stop. Joe Garone said he did not think they would make any chassis adjustments to the 94. Right side tires going on. They do make a chassis adjustment on the right side, shifting weight to the left. Now the left side tires coming off. 4 tires for Matt Kenseth. Let's check in now with Glenn Jarrett.
Okay, Mark Martin is in down here, guys, and this will be 4 tires and fuel. Fuel being the key word here. I asked Jack Roush if they can make it all the way. He did not give me an answer. Mark Martin, Bobby Labonte, and...
That right there. All in the top 5.
4th, 5th, and 6th right there. You see Gordon under the 88 car there, Dale Jarrett looking to the inside, going down towards turn 1. Just behind him, Rusty Wallace moving in.
Word from the pits, Kenseth's engine is fine, not skipping at this point. Obviously, Gordon's is not either, as he goes out in the bottom of the...
And put Ernie Irvin a lap down in 11th.
The green car there, that's Bobby Labonte now running in 2nd spot due to a great pit stop. They got him right back out there. Matt Kenseth and Jeff Gordon, though, are closing in on him in a hurry.
Quick lap last time by was Jeff Gordon's lap. Kenseth second fastest last time, with Mark Martin third.
Ernie Irvin in that 36 is one of the few guys that tried practice up and down on the racetrack. Most of the guys are just trying to stay as low as possible, but he tosses that car into the corners so hard that he had no choice but to find out what was going on upstairs. And here comes Gordon on the inside against it.
He's got third, so Gordon grabs the spot. See if Kenseth can cover it. He does before Rusty Wallace sneaks on through.
Irvin and his team thought they were going to have a big day today.
Kenseth goes up the racetrack. Rusty Wallace takes the spot away. Right now, Kenseth's car does not seem to be turning as well as it was just before the pit stop.
Cleanup out there. As a matter of fact, they have the jet blower out there now up against the outside wall to try and help remove all the excess speedy dry. There you see Kenseth losing the 3 positions the guys were telling you about earlier down on the pit lane. Back to the Matt Kenseth pit stop now. This is a big story today, running in 8th place. So give us the full detail.
Eli, I noticed they were having problems on the left rear, and in fact, they had a lug nut that got stuck in the air gun as they were removing the lug nut, so that's what slowed them down. They finally got it off and then got the replacement tire back on, but it was a lug nut that got caught up in the air gun.
So that's the update there. Matt Kenseth running in the 8th spot. Ward Burton's car had stopped on the racetrack, and they have pushed it around to the pit area. And
also Matt Kenseth, who was right up in the very front there at one time running in second place, and lost quite a few positions in the 94 car there. Really coming up through traffic right now. Really on the move.
He's running in 6th.
Got some lap cars to get by. The 97, Chad Little is a lap down.
Chad's running in 17th spot. Sterling Marlin in the 40.
Jeremy Mayfield right on the bottom of the racetrack. He and Matt Kenseth trying to get by Chad Little as they go down the front straightaway.
Here's where you've got to be ever so careful. You don't want to get involved in an accident.
As you could tell by that shot just a second ago. And here's Kenseth, who has fought all day long to get back into good race contention there. Jeremy Mayfield in the 12 just behind him.
That's for 5th place right there.
Kenseth's not giving up.
No.
Coming right back at him. Yeah, slow here is about 142, 143 miles an hour.
Yeah, exactly. That's when we say slow car, we certainly don't imply they're running slow. Look at Jeremy Mayfield taking a look on the inside of Kenseth there, with all the way up on the quarter pound coming through the corner. Thought better of it, backed out just a little bit.
Racetrack very different, obviously. Not just its racing surface, but it calls for different things. No drop snout cars out here.
No, they use basically the cars that they run on the mile-and-a-half tracks like Charlotte, Texas, and places like that, where you don't want the roll center to load over on the right front and make it turn too much getting in the corner and throw the back end out.
And some will use the same car here as they'll use at Bristol. Concrete seems to favor these two racetracks for one single car. Are we going to get the 2 and 12 nose to tail again, as we've seen all year?
Could well happen.
Yep.
Matt Kenseth come within inches of getting into the turn 2 walls as he started down towards the back straightaway just now. He's got his hands full, but he is really kicking this car around the racetrack.
Mayfield is eating them up there in the corners. Meanwhile, up front, it is better than a second of a lead now for Mark Martin over Jeff Gordon. Right behind him, Kenseth. Did he hang on against Rusty Wallace?
Right here is where he's strong, but he's on the low side and can't get a great run up. Rusty will pull back beside of him, side by side, down the back straightaway.
10 miles to go.
Here comes Kenseth again. He's not going to give up either.
What a great show.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy, I tell you what, that's two great drivers right there. When I say that, Kenseth has proved how well he can drive today.
Can you imagine how good this Kenseth kid is going to be when he gets some experience? Oh, boy.
What that did, though, that brought Dale Jarrett right up on the back of Kenseth now.
From first place, Martin, to second place, Gordon is still a second. Then it is 9 seconds further back to these guys right here. They're a total of 10 seconds back of the race leader, so there's no chance they have to catch Mark Martin. Right now they're just roaring about each other.
Well, there's only 8 laps to go, but I tell you what, Kenseth's going to give it another try, and he's even going to try it on the outside of Rusty Wallace.
Wow.
Whoa, baby.
Oh, I don't think so.
Didn't force the issue.
No. One thing to be smart, another to be fast. If you're both, it's twice as good.
Well, it's real good in 3 and 4. You can see Rusty can hold on in 1 and 2. As Kenseth is going to get him, it's going to be in this turn right here in 3 and 4.
You bet Bobby Labonte's glad they're fighting with each other. He may not have to deal with them if they continue this.
Up front, Martin has now put a little more coal on the fire. He's 1 3/10 seconds ahead of Gordon. As we watch this battle here, middle of the field, 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Going on.
A good battle right down to the finish.
Yeah.
Wallace in 5th, Kenseth in 6th.
Still trying that outside, Doctor, but it's not working for him. Rusty has his car where he can get back in the throttle pretty well in turns 1 and 2. In the past, this is the end that Kenseth has been the strongest, but he's been in the washout just a little bit. I think he leaned on those tires just a little bit much there. Boy, does he ever go down the straightaway.
Sure does.
Meanwhile, it will be the white flag for Mark Martin as he gets set to come out of turn number 4 to victory lane. Mayfield 3rd, Labonte 4th, Rusty Wallace 5th. Kenseth will finish 6th. Jarrett is 7th. It's our winner. More from Dover in a moment. Over down.
Yeah, we ran pretty good. The McDonald's Ford, handled really good all day. I probably didn't call for quite the right adjustments there. In the middle of the race when I was running second to Mark, we were running the same lap times, we're just a little tight. So I wanted to free it up. We got a little too loose, and then we came back to being pretty good again. But them guys at the end of the race stepped on the gas. In the middle of the race, I think he was just leaving me where he wanted me. And, everybody made the right adjustments. And then they have a lot more experience in long races and kind of took off and left me. But I'm glad we got a good run for the Bill Elliott number 94 car, and I hope they're doing all right at home.
Well, congratulations. Eli?
Classy young driver with one whale of a future ahead of him. Matt Kenseth came home in 6th. We'll have the full rundown, look at the points. We'll wrap it all up from Dover right after these messages. Everybody came on